What's up, guys? It's your man DX, and thank you for joining me again here on the Elite DX channel. Today we're going to be talking about the NBA and how it's being affected by the C-19 thing. And because YouTube is so weirded out about this type of language, I will have to use code. So I will call it the Coof, C-O-O-F, the Coof. And in relation to that, Kyrie Irving, a player for the Brooklyn Nets, who refused to get the poke, has been scheduled to go ahead and return to the team. Now, I know that some of my subscribers are not really into sports. You don't really care. But this is bigger than sports, and I would ask you just to bear with us on this video because it's not going to be that long of a video, and there is some very interesting and useful information here. And actually, the Brooklyn Nets are scheduled to be in Los Angeles playing the Lakers on Christmas Day, which is probably the day you'll be seeing this video. Kyrie Irving is not scheduled to be in the lineup to play though. And I would also say that whether you agree or disagree with the poke is not really the point here either, because I don't judge anyone, no matter which decision you make, either way. Also on today's video, I will be giving you another clue in your quest to win those gift cards. But first, let me remind you that if you appreciate my efforts and you like the content on this video and on my channel, go ahead and hit that like button. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Elite DX channel. And don't forget that notification bell so that you can be informed when I drop a new video. Hit me up in the comments section if you have an opinion on this, the things that I cover in this video, because the interaction between us in the comments section helps the channel to grow. And lastly, go ahead and share this on social media, on any platform that you would like. It's okay. So now let's start off with a report from Adrian Wojnarowski, an NBA insider from ESPN, who reported a few days ago that Kyrie Irving, basically the only player out of the standard 450 players in the NBA who decided not to get the poke, will be coming back to play basketball for the Brooklyn Nets.
That is the overwhelming news. The Nets bringing Kyrie Irving back as a part-time player. It is Woj who has that story and has all the information. So let's waste no time and get right to him. Woj, take us into this decision and what it means for the Nets and I guess for the entire NBA.
Yeah, Greeny, Kyrie Irving, since the preseason when the Nets sidelined him because they did not want him as a part-time player, did not want him just for road games, has wanted to play this role, to play road games, not get vaccinated. And finally, the Nets really over the last week to 10 days, as they've lost players in COVID. They've got 7 players in protocols. And the load on Kevin Durant, 37 minutes a game, the most he's played in the league since his MVP season in 2013-14. Listen, the Nets see a window here, a tight window to win a championship. And to them, the circumstances have changed. They've got a roster and key players in Durant and James Harden who welcome back Kyrie Irving, even in this role. And, their head coach, Steve Nash, Sean Marks, their GM, and their owner, Joe Tsai, their thinking evolved on this and ultimately saw a player who can help carry the load for them in the regular season. He can practice at home and play road games. They'll get to the postseason when they do and figure out how that might work. But right now in Brooklyn, they want to win a championship. And the load on their roster with, again, players out with COVID, the minutes that Kevin Durant has had to play and James Harden, who's out in COVID now, they decided, really to start having that conversation with Kyrie Irving. And now he's going to have to test for 5 successive days negative, then he can rejoin the team. And then it's a ramp up, Greeny, to when he's ready to return on the road. Remember, he can't play against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, and he can't play in Toronto against the Raptors. He can play everywhere else in the NBA.
So there you have it. Kyrie Irving will be coming back to play for the Brooklyn Nets, his team. And this is a big deal for 2 reasons. Number one, when the Coof broke out about a year and a half ago, a lot of businesses lost massive amounts of income, including the NBA. And so A lot of the cities that the NBA teams play in have adopted rules about the Coof and how you have to be immunized against it in order to play there. So the NBA, of course, has decided to comply with those rules, and they strongly encourage the 450 players on their teams to get the poke. Well, 449 of them did, and Kyrie Irving didn't. So the second reason that this is important is because the Brooklyn Nets backtracked on a decision they made when Kyrie Irving decided not to give the poke. They told him, if we can't have you full time, then we don't want you part time. And now they've backtracked on that, and they're saying that, well, we need you kind of, so you can come back part time. And the reason why they did that is not because they love Kyrie so much. It's because they are losing money, because right now the NBA is being rocked with a Coof scare, where there have been more than 9 games postponed at this point, and over 90 players out of the 450 who have tested positive for the Coof. So it has been very difficult for these teams, a lot of them, to put a roster together of at least 8 players to play these games. Some of the teams who are affected by this are the Brooklyn Nets, Portland Trail Blazers, Toronto Raptors, Chicago Bulls, Washington Wizards, Orlando Magic, New Orleans Pelicans, Philadelphia 76ers, Denver Nuggets, Atlanta Hawks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Chicago Bulls, and the Detroit Pistons, who have all had games postponed in the last few days. Now, this has also prompted the NBA to put in place newer, stricter protocols when it comes to this. Instead of testing negative 3 times consecutively in order to return to games, now these players have to test 5 times in a row negatively for the Coof in order to resume playing in games. Now, there's been a spike in Coof cases in the United States ever since the Thanksgiving holiday back in November, and this is how it has affected the NBA. Some of you may remember that a couple of weeks ago, LeBron James, who is the most popular player in the NBA and the face of the NBA, tested positive for the Coof and was suspended for several days until they found out that it probably was a false positive, and he tested negative for the Coof 3 times in a row and was allowed to come back several days later and rejoin his team. I want to take a second here to give you your clue today. The clue is Mans. That is the last name of my first girlfriend. M-A-N-N, like Terrence Mann of the Los Angeles Clippers, only with an S added on the end. M-A-N-N-S. So in conclusion, in this situation regarding Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets, and the NBA, I think there are 2 things that we can take away from this. Number 1, even if you do get the poke, you can still come down with the Coof. Let's just be clear on that. And number 2, when it comes to businesses like the NBA and all the teams in the NBA, including the Brooklyn Nets, principles go out the window when it comes to making money, because businesses care about profit. They don't care about people. They don't care about you. Well, I guess that's it for me when it comes to analysis of this situation in the NBA. But before I go, let me remind you guys to hit that like button if you like what you've heard in this video. And if you don't like it, go ahead and hit that dislike button. Either way, it's okay. All we need is interaction. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Elite DX channel. Then hit me up in the comments section and let me know what you think about this situation I've discussed in this video. I'm interested to hear you guys' opinion on this. The conversations that we have down in the comments section really do help the channel out, because they hit the YouTube algorithms just right and help the channel to grow. And lastly, go ahead and share this on any social media platform that you would like to. It's all good. And as always, until next time, this is your man DX, and I am out.